Hey up YouTube, welcome back to another video of a month in the life of a self-employed gardener. You're going to see, well, I'm in a camper van at the moment, but you're going to see in this video some of the jobs that I've been doing. This month has been all about, I won't say lawn renovations, but scarifying. How I look at scarifying is, if, in all honesty, it makes my life easier. The customers that are on my books, for them, if they see a lawn that's green, it doesn't matter whether it's full of moss or it's grass, it's green. Now that's not to say that they don't care, it's just that it's not high on their list of priorities basically. So as such, if I'm being honest with you, scarifying is for my ease of life and quality of life. There's nothing worse than trying to do I don't cut close. I always cut to what I think is appropriate to the lawn, but if a lawn's super mossy, well, that appropriate cut, you end up sort of hitting them seams of moss. They don't cut, they just tend to sort of turn them white or like smear them, or it pulls chunks of moss out, and the mower only gets 90% up, so you have to do another pass or whiz over with the blower. So, and also as well, I use my position as a gardener to manage people's properties. You've got to remember, people are getting you in as a gardener to look after their garden, not give a hand with their garden. Sometimes it is. So as such, I tend to use my professional insight, and if it is that, you know, I see a lawn that's mossy already, I think to myself, right, next year it's going to be even mossier. And there's going to be a point where, you know, even a good winter for moss can knacker a lawn. So quite often I'll say to customers, look, you know, we'll scarify them. Quite often as well, the lawns that I do are very, very small. You'll see in this, they aren't huge. So scarifying it, it's not, you know, it doesn't take long at all. So it's not like the customer's paying a huge bill. I know the right way of doing it, so you'll see a couple of them where I think I've said it, ideally they want topsoiling. Quite a few of them have put seed on. I'll be honest with you, I've got a huge sack of grass seed that I just want to use. So there's no cost to that customer for me putting that seed down. It's just so I can get some use out of it. If it sits in the container for another year, the germination rate's just going to drop again, and it'll just be next to useless. So I'd rather get it used up. Ideally, they want topsoiling or netting over or something, but I've done this now with some of these properties for a few years, and they get a light scarify in the start of the season and a light scarify at the end of the season. Another thing as well, this sounds a bit depressing, a bit horrible, you've got to sort of factor in, like, my customers is an aged population. So for them, if I completely renovate it, topsoil it, you know, it's going to be a few months till it's sort of back to where it wants to be, or longer. If it is that they don't water it, we've had quite a dry spell at the moment. We had a bit of rain last night actually, but predominantly March so far has been really, really dry. So again, I factor that in. I don't want to leave them work, you know, I don't want to say, oh, I'll put seed down and topsoil, but you've got to keep it watered, you know. So you're going to see a lot of scarifying in this video, guys. So enjoy it and have a good day. Right guys, here's a juicy job. Top that, throw that into there, spray it all on here. So for me, I would have to chop that, drag it all to the front, bag it up, whatever. Now it's zero waste, straight onto there. This is all been topped over, so nothing grows here. I never normally like putting fresh chippings down, but it doesn't matter here. Just spray it everywhere, you know. I'll go to rake over, make it look a bit prettier, but yeah, let's get cracking, guys.
So that job's done. I've just put the chippings across there, but yeah, it's definitely had a good talking to, but that's what they wanted. It was just getting away from them, so it needed doing. But the chipper is coming in useful, so that's one job ticked off the list for this property. I'll probably, as I get mulch myself, chippings, I might just keep throwing it on here, just gets it out of my hair, but also it just tops this up a little bit. See you in the next job, guys. So another garden ticked off. I think next time it's going to be a case for the Scarifier, but yeah, let's get on with it. So these are what I refer to as the topographical stripes. Know what it is. This lawn is very, very spongy, and I walk off centre on this when it's like this. It's quite damp, and then that way I don't end up leaving footprints behind. I'm mowing over my footprint, but as such is you start off relatively straight, then you end up going way off course. But it's all subjective, like any form of art. I think it was quite nice. So the next lawn we go. Another one ticked off, guys. That's the first cut done for this new customer. So we'll keep on getting on with different bits and bobs. So get this all power washed and all up there. I'll show you up there. So down here gets pretty dirty. And up here. So let's get cracking. Someone over there's doing a bit of graft. So yeah, another one getting ticked off, guys. So that's this job done. This is a returning customer from last year, so I'm very happy on that. But old mate is progressing with his hedge. It's really nice, actually. But, yeah. Bottom area's come out really well. Definitely not as green. Up here. Look at that. Looks better for the lady. That'll do her for another year. And then we'll be back here. Unfortunately, she's asked about the grass. But I just live too... It's not worth me coming here to do the grass. It's worth me coming here to do the power washing. But yeah, all done. So on with the next job, as I keep saying. So first sort of visit at this site. It's a little roadside cafe. They've done a good job of it, to be fair. So we're going to just go around and just give it all a tidy. I have got some grass seed in the back of my van, and I've said to him that, look, you know, because he just wanted it looking a bit more presentable. I says, look, there's no promise it's going to work, I says, but I'll throw it on and just see if it does do something. Like I said, they aren't too fussed about getting it turfed or anything, but the hedge he wants, so this is going to be interesting, the hedge he wants just keeping on top of. So I'm just going to get my long reach and just, you know, these little sprangalangs here, just to sort of, I'm not climbing over all that, so I'll just give it a little whip over. The rest of it, it's as simple as can be. It's grass. Just get all the grass sort of thrashed down, cut down, trim around everything. Just get it presentable basically for him. Like I said, as for the verge, I'm probably going to go down, you know, nearly to the white van and then just tidy up around here. So see you in a little bit. Right, so I've just knocked the tops off that off. Like I said, very, very sort of here and either there basically, but it just makes it look that little bit tidier. And then what I've done is around the edges, just trimmed all the grass down. I don't want to mow this because there's so much rubble, and it's so, you can see tyre tracks here, that there's just no point. It won't make it any better than what it is. If anything, it'll just knacker my equipment. I think it's here. There's a grid and a hole there. So, like I said, it's definitely a strim job, and it'll definitely always be a strim job. But I wanted this place, I think, if a place looks managed, people tend not to take the piss and litter. It still will, but if there's overgrown grass, they'll throw litter. So just all the way around, I've just cleared, so it just looks that little bit tidier. So, like I said, I probably would at some point run the mower over this bit, just to level it, but again, it's all where wagons and people have turned around on it. It's just too sort of messy. So we'll get packed up. I think I'm just going to nip off them little branches there, and then that'll be it today, guys. So I'll see you in the next part of the video. Oh, so nice little scarifying job. Just amazes me how much it pulls out. This is just one pass. I'm just going to do another pass on it. Turn the owl around. He's gone, you know, looking elsewhere. But yeah, I'm going to do another pass on it, and next time I come, I'll put some feed down just to try and perk it up a little bit, and then probably just seed it, or put a bit of seed down if it's starting. So when I scarify, I try not to rip, because it's regular work and I'm here all the time. I'd rather do it twice in a year than trying to rip it all out and then the customer's looking at a horrible lawn. It does look worse than it is, but I'll show you once I've mowed it afterwards what it looks like. So see you in a bit. So it doesn't look too bad. It looks better in real life, but it's definitely firmer to stand on. There's a little bit here I couldn't get, so I've just raked what I cut out, and there's bulbs coming up over there and over here. But yeah, I always mow it afterwards. I always say to the customer I'll still mow, because it does make the difference. It just hoovers it up basically. But I'm sure I'm not the first person to do that. So again, on with the next job. So while I'm here, I'll just show you a latest edition. I bought I think they are Henchmen. I bought the 3-foot ones because jobs that I keep doing seem to be shrinking smaller and smaller now. So, and also they fit up there, and I've ratcheted them to the roof, and they're solid. They're not going anywhere. And I put my long reach hedge trimmers. They've got a bit of variance to them, a bit of bounce. But yeah, got rubber feet as standard and all the different adjustment points there. They make my other ones look a lot, you know, older and inferior. So as such, I've took them off the roof and they're living in the container now. I think these are going to do me for a little bit. But it's all in here and it doesn't interfere, so even better really. So let me get packed up, guys. See you in the next part of the video. So another one. Scarified. I'm going to feed this next time because it's looking a bit poorly, shall I say, but new build, what could you do? Next job. Oh, bit of ducking and diving with this one, but another one all done, guys. So also beautiful day. So show you this is the first cut of this lawn, new customer. I'll just show you beforehand and I'll show you the back. So before, so, and then again, this is the before, so this is the back of the property. Nice view. So I always whip around the edges. This lawn is mainly moss, but it just wants a cut every 4 weeks, so that's that's what will happen. So we'll cut this. So again, before. So it's the after. All done. Whipped around the edges. So I'll show you the front in a bit. And the front, all done. Super mossy though. So another scarifying job. Seems to be the order of the day. But again, one pass, lowest setting. It always surprises me. It's already feeling firmer. I might do one more pass, but I'm going to put some seed down on this just to perk it up. I'm back in 4 weeks, you see, so that'll be time for it to do what it needs to do, and I'll put a feed down on it. So let's get it swept up. So another scarifying job, but it always makes me laugh when people, this customer is regular, he gets a light scar. This is a light scarify, by the way. This is, so on the still, this is, I think it was number 1. Now, this machine's good, but it isn't. But then again, I don't know, I've not used others. Now, I have to permanently keep that open, so that means that I have the grass bukkake as I'm just going along, and also the not so good version, which is the stone bukkake, or a twig. That's not fun. But this machine, like I said, I suppose if you're doing a, you know, residential, like your own lawn when there's light moss, it's not too bad. But like this is one pass and on number 1. Also as well, if in certain lawns, I don't know why it's got 5 settings. I really don't, because it goes right up to number 6. I have no idea how that would perform, because if I drop this to number 2 now, the blades don't spin, the belts just burn. This is why the back's open, because it just builds up and clogs. And it just clogs, and then it just ends up seizing the machine, and you can hear it. And then if you leave it and you don't sort of cock it back or have this open, you can smell the belts burning on it. It is what it is. I think this engine is what they put on the bigger mowers, so it's, you know, it's presumably it's got some oomph. But yeah, like I said, a mini review of it. Would I recommend it? Yeah, in all fairness, it's done me well. It does what I need it to do. It's light, you know, it's not a bad machine to use. It's a bit of a pain in the arse to start, but other than that, it does do its job. But like I said, homeowners sometimes, they're like, oh, there's not much moss, and you know, you do it and it's like this. So as I said as well, this gets a Scarify now and a Scarify towards the end of the autumn, and believe you me, it's like this at the end of autumn. So I think I'll probably put some form of feed down on it at some point, just to keep it perked up. But this is like an entry level, you know. Sometimes it's a hard enough sell to get people to want you to Scarify, never mind additional things. So as I said, we'll get cracking on and we'll get it swept up. So another little lawn done. But yeah, this would be scarified, but this is just a keep on top of it job. This is one of the properties that is up for sale. But like I said, another one ticked off for you. I don't think it quite shows up in the video, but this lawn is super mossy. It's the most mossiest lawn that I look after, and as such, I'm going to Scarify it for it, but I'm only going to do a very, very light pass because it's very dry, and I've got a feeling that if it digs in, it can pull the moss, and well, as you can see, it's mainly moss, I don't want to leave it where there's no lawn. I have got seed with me, so I'm going to put seed down, but at the same time I still wanted to look half decent for it. Also as well, this is, from what I can gather, where all the cats in the world live, because every time I come here it's cat shit central. Apparently somebody used to breed him and then they moved out and left behind a herd of cats, according to the neighbour. So it's not just going to be grass and moss in this lawn, trust me on that. So we'll get doing then, guys. So, far from good from afar maybe. No, this one, it's just a hospital job. It gets a light Scarify start and the end of the season, because anything more than that, well, it's a new lawn really. I have put some seed down. I said in the one I did earlier, I put the seed down for the birds. Ideally it wants topsoil in, or at best, you know, it's, if this was mine, you'd just start again, wouldn't you really? But then the next one up from that is maybe scarify the hell out of the real mossy patches and then overseed and topsoil on parts of it. But, you know, it's just keeping it looking presentable, and in many ways the Scarifying's more of a, you know, compromise for me. It makes it where I'm not mowing moss all the time. And the bird seed, but the grass seed, I've got a great big bag of it and I'm just trying to get through it. It's from last year, and I know if I cake it into next year, it's, you know, the germination rate just keeps dropping every year. So as I said, and as well, it's a gesture, you know, it's just a, you know, I'll put that down, you know, and see what it does, sort of thing. But the lawn feels better, it looks better than a full bag of clippings. So see you in the next little part. So another little Scarify jobby, take you through it. So this is before. Like I said, for me, it's never get all of it out, it's just get on top of it before it gets on top of you. So we'll get the before. So another one done. Put some grass seed down for the birds. I've just tried to rake it in all the gaps. But yeah, we'll see what this does. But like I said, it's not to get all of it out. It just makes it, it'll perk up soon. I'll be back in a couple of weeks, so we'll have a little look at it.
So I just want to finish the end of this video. As you can see, or as you've seen hopefully, plenty of Scarifying. When I think about my workflow, I'm going to actually do this today. I'm going to go through and look at the percentage of, in air quotes, garden maintenances to mow and goes. And I actually think, when I sort of break it down, I think I do more mow and goes than I do garden maintenances. Now, I don't mind garden maintenance at all. It's just how it's gone over the years for me. I've decided not to go away from garden maintenance. It's like as if it's been decided for me, in the sense that the garden maintenance that I do, it's got less and less and less, and mow and goes have come into place. There's a bit of a loaded name with mow and goes. People sort of don't have much thing with them, you know, gardeners, and you know, it's always a topic of discussion. How I see it is the majority of my work's mow and goes, but I will be the gardener that will cut their hedges. I will be the gardener that will power wash their patio if needed. I'll be the bloke who will do the gutters, the fascias, soffits, You know, I'll be the bloke. I don't like doing it. You know, most of the stuff that I do, it's very manageable. But if you need the borders whipping over, and if I can do it, I'll do it. I think sometimes you can and you can't. I think sometimes you don't want to pigeonhole yourself into where you are just the person and the customer thinks, well, sometimes people don't like asking you, or they feel bad for asking you, or they feel like they're putting it on. And some people get it into the head that he just doesn't do it, so I'll get somebody else. So I think showing willing for other areas of the garden is always really, really good. It's always, you know, something you should be looking at doing, because for me, I think no matter what, your best sort of asset is your customer base. Yes, there's always new customers coming along. You know, you could always take a punt on a new customer, so to speak, but primarily you've grown your customer base, you've nurtured it, and you know, it's the devil you know at the end of the day. I'd rather do extra work for my customers than, say, spend money on advertising to go and get potential new customers, which could be unreliable, it could be not as good work, or you know, it could just be not as good, not as fun, not as enjoyable, opposed to sticking with Mrs. Such and Such, who's had me for a few years and she's willing for me to do extra things. So thanks for watching, guys. As usual, keep on gardening.